It's Megan Black, Meeghan Black, and I'm the communications manager for the Renton Police Department.
I'm gonna shut cars off. Yeah, I'll shut my car off. Just because I was like, it's not like it's doing much, but as quiet as we can get it.
Turn off the inverter, Jay.
There we go. Much better.
Whoa.
Well, why don't we, when everyone's back, why don't we start with the great news that you captured him in South Seattle at 1:30 without incident. What details can you share about that?
So it was a very long night for our detectives. The investigators worked all night processing search warrants, serving search warrants, beginning with the apartment, the electronics for the suspect, and interviewing witnesses and family members of the victims, trying to figure out where this individual might be. So they developed enough information, they got a lead, and our special investigation team came in and they were able to locate him in South Seattle. He was exiting a vehicle at the time. They came upon him. He was at first surprised a little bit, and then he just gave up.
Can you talk about the relationship between him and the victims?
So what we know at this point is that there were 5 people in addition to the suspect in the apartment at the time. 3 of those people were fatally wounded. They were shot to death. We have a 46-year-old woman, a 28-year-old woman, and a 9-year-old girl. 2 other women were able to run as soon as the shooting started, and they were able to get out of the apartment, thankfully, safely. The 46-year-old suspect, we are told by some of those witnesses, was in a dating relationship with the 46-year-old victim. We do not know at this time what was said, what kind of argument, what happened to prompt such a horrific event.
So it started out as DV, but then he turned his rage on the other people.
It's since they were all so the 9-year-old is the daughter of the 46-year-old woman. And we don't know the relationship to the 28-year-old, but they were located in different parts of the apartment. So it is a domestic violence situation because of the dating relationship.
Can you speak to how those witnesses were able to escape?
From what they told our investigators, the witnesses say that they saw or heard something. They saw the gunfire go off and they just bolted out of the apartment. One of them hid in some bushes and was able to scream at somebody who was gardening. They called 911, and that point, a lot of people saw the suspect running from the scene. He abandoned his car there at the scene. And we don't know how he got to South Seattle. We're trying to track down. That's still part of the investigation.
Can you share what location in South Seattle it was?
I don't know. So it was South Seattle is what I was told.
The 2 people in a relationship and the child, were they all living in that home full time?
So the suspect was not living there. The man was visiting there in the afternoon. The mother and daughter were living there, and we believe the 28-year-old came by to visit. Again, it's really difficult to know the exact relationship until we can talk more in depth with family members and friends who knew these people. You have to realize this happened at 7:30 last night. It has been a highly charged emotional event for these people. It was a horrific scene that they had to witness and that they fled from. And so over the next couple of days, I have a feeling we'll be able to find out a whole lot more information.
I should be very clear that the relationship in terms of this was the victim's boyfriend. There's no relation to this can't be the father of the child that was killed, right? That's been ruled out?
No one has said otherwise, but I don't believe so.
How are the 2 individuals doing, the ones that escaped? I mean, I imagine, like you mentioned, this was a horrific incident.
Yeah, so all I know is that they were at the scene with patrol officers until detectives arrived last night when they were able to be interviewed, and then they were sent home. So I can only imagine, not only is that a horrific, violent event to witness, but they also lost friends. They were there visiting them, and so our entire community is mourning with them tonight, that they had to not only witness it, but they are losing their good friends.
Is he booked yet?
Not yet. He was arrested at 1:30. He is currently here at Renton City Hall at the police department. We are processing the probable cause and probable cause certification. Sorry, and then he'll be booked into the King County Jail.
Do you know if he has prior convictions or arrests?
At this point, it's too early to tell.
Do you know the relationship amongst all the victims and everyone that's in the home? Are they all family?
So, as I mentioned, the 46-year-old and the 9-year-old are mother and daughter. The 28-year-old, we believe, is a friend. The other two are family friends, and they were all gathered together with the suspect yesterday evening.
I know in that post it was important to know why you guys didn't release, information about this person, the suspect, and whatnot. Maybe talk about that just for.
Absolutely. So, in law enforcement, public safety is obviously our number one concern. We want to do whatever we can to protect the public. When this incident occurred, we quickly realized that it was most likely a domestic violence situation, so it was very targeted. The attack was meant for the particular people involved in the incident, and so detectives indicated that they did not think that there was any greater risk to the public at large. So we chose not to release his identification, because if we did release the identification, the clothing description, where we saw him fleeing, that could drive a suspect underground into hiding, ditching clothes, ditching cell phones, fleeing the country. We don't know where this individual actually is from. And so without a greater threat to the public, it was in the best interest of the investigation to keep his identity to law enforcement. And that way we had a chance to do the investigation. And as you see, it had a very successful outcome. And I would also just like to mention, this was some incredible police work. You talk about, TV shows and seeing things solved overnight like this. This does not happen every day. They worked around the clock. The patrol did an outstanding job processing the scene, handing it over to detectives, and they worked throughout the night to be able to effect this arrest today. So the Renton community should feel safer and better tonight because of the men and women in uniform here.
So you said he left his electronics behind. Is that his phone, or do you know?
So we did serve a ping search warrant on his phone, and we're able to ping his cell phone.
Oh, so he had his phone with him, and you pinged that and tracked him to South Seattle. Gotcha.
So if we had given out that information, what do you think he would have done with that cell phone, right? So sometimes less is better, but if there was any risk to public safety, absolutely we would have shared that so that people could take precautions.
Did he still have the gun with him?
That we are still looking for.
So it wasn't left at the apartment?
It was not left at the apartment, and again, we're still trying to track his movement and where he went. So they will be able to go back and look at some of those cell phone records. They will be able to look at the vehicle that he exited, those kinds of things.
Anything else we're missing that maybe we didn't ask you?
I just, again, it's remarkable how quickly they got this person arrested, and hopefully will be brought to justice.
Thank you for coming in on your
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.